Well, hello, this is Root Source, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with Susanna Kokkonen. How are you doing, Susanna?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's very good to be here in Jerusalem at Yad Vashem.
So tell us, what do you do at Yad Vashem?
Well, I am the director of the Christian Friends of Yad Vashem, and this is a department that was founded in 2006, so quite late in time, considering that Yad Vashem was founded in 1953. But in 2006, there was a really big interest from the Christian world to visit Yad Vashem, not just a museum, but to understand on a deeper level what this place is all about. And Yad Vashem wanted to be able to answer that need. So they felt that there was a need for a new department. And I came here in April 2008.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I come from Finland, originally from Scandinavia. I did my doctorate at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem in Holocaust Studies.
When did you come to Jerusalem?
1998.
Oh, all right.
So it's a while.
And you were from Finland. We have some viewers from Finland. What town, maybe, or?
Yeah, my parents come from central Finland.
Okay.
And so I came here to Jerusalem and I did my studies, and then I was working in different places, among them the Finnish embassy in Tel Aviv, before I came and joined Yad Vashem staff.
What has been your experience with the grappling that many of us have gone through about understanding our Christian heritage, and what has been your story?
Well, I think it's a very hard thing for many Christians to do, to look at the Holocaust and realize that the theology, the way we have been reading the Bible and the way we have been taught the Bible, that is always at the background of the Holocaust. So you have to be very honest with yourself, and you have to be able to look at the teachings that came down from the church fathers and so on in a very honest manner. But that's one of the things that we encourage. And when people come to Yad Vashem, they see the museum, they see the story, or they come to Yad Vashem if they are pastors to a week-long seminar. They meet with Holocaust survivors, and that opens their heart.
So was it coming to places like Yad Vashem that opened your heart?
I've always been interested in history, and I did my studies in history, so I think, but I had the background that my grandmother, she was a believing Christian, and she was very much teaching about the Bible, speaking about the prophecy and how the state of Israel is the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. So I think it was on two levels. It perhaps doesn't work only on an intellectual level. You also have to have a spiritual connection. Yes.
So you've seen that happen with Christians that come here.
Yes.
Can you think of any stories, any examples of how Christians have reacted to being here?
Well, first of all, when we do the week-long program, many of the pastors, when they come at the beginning, they say, I don't really know why I'm here, and I know a lot about the Holocaust. I know perhaps everything there is to know about it. But then as the days progress and they hear these experts and they hear the testimonies, at the end they say, now I realize how little I know about it. So that's a very strong reaction. We all have to be teachable. But also when people meet with Holocaust survivors, and it becomes a personal story, because as long as you are thinking about it as history, as perhaps today looking back, some people feel that it's almost ancient history, because things are progressing and moving and changing so fast. Yes. But when you look at it through the eyes of someone who was a child at that time and someone who is telling what happened to them, it changes your perspective. And then, of course, we have many of the righteous among the nations. And even behind me there is a tree. We are standing between the trees that were planted to those righteous Gentiles who tried to rescue someone. Some of them were successful, others were not. You hear their stories and you realize that even among the non-Jewish population, there always was a choice. That is, even if the circumstances were difficult, some people made a different choice. They felt that they could risk their life for someone else.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about this place, Yad Vashem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people have heard of Holocaust museums,
Mm-hmm.
but what is Yad Vashem?
Mm-hmm. So Yad Vashem, we don't really define it as a museum. The museum is the central element, the element that most people who come here will see. But we have world's largest archives on the Holocaust, so we document the Holocaust. We collect the names. We have over 4 million names of those who perished in the very last room of the museum, and we are still continuing that work. We record the names of the righteous among the nations. We educate about the Holocaust. We have an international school for Holocaust studies, and that's also where we have those seminars for pastors and Christian leaders. So we commemorate, of course, we have the Holocaust Memorial Day. People come here for special ceremonies. But this is a living community, so it's not a place that is dead. It's not a place where you come, you see the museum and you leave, but it's a place of learning. And the people who come here and study here, they become part of the Yad Vashem community around the world.
This is true. I remember my first visit here and just how different it was from what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
I remember being so inspired. I guess you get that a lot from people, right? When they come the first time and they go through the museum
Yes.
part, but what is it about that experience that touches people?
Yeah, that's very hard to say. I think we put a strong emphasis on the individual, so we don't tell the story of just 6 million, we tell stories of people,
Yes.
and we start from the Jewish life in Europe before the Holocaust. So we want to show the people not as numbers, not after what was done to them, but we want to show them as members of the European life, as members of their Jewish communities before the Holocaust.
Yes. What would you say the collective view of Israel is regarding Yad Vashem? I mean, if Yad Vashem is successful for the next 50 years, what will Yad Vashem be doing in Israel?
Well, I think there are two different questions here, because in Israel, Yad Vashem is also an institution. It's part of the state also. It's an official institution. Most Israelis come and visit at some point. The armed forces come and study here, and so on and so forth. And the Holocaust Memorial Day in Israel is a very, very important day. And then the other question is, of course, the world that is changing very rapidly, and what's the meaning of the story of the Holocaust, and how do we teach it in this changing world when the Holocaust survivors will no longer be with us?
Yes, that's very interesting, and we are coming to the, I don't know, what will it be, another 10 years or so before we don't...
Most of the survivors who are now speaking about their experiences, speaking publicly, most of them were children during the Holocaust. So yes, it's possible to say that perhaps a decade or something like that. And that's a changing world also, because they have had a kind of authority to speak about evil, because they saw what happened. And how is the world going to look like without the survivors? That's a very important question, and I don't think anyone has an answer. But what I can say is that here at Yad Vashem, we are making great efforts to recording all the stories. We want to have the names, but we also want to record the stories, because that is going to be the only thing that we have afterwards.
I've heard of the heart cry, never again.
Yes.
What does that mean?
You know, I think we need to, each person has to ask themselves, what does that mean? Because if it's just words and you don't implement it, you don't think what's happening in the world today, then it's only words and never again has no meaning.
Right. Can you tell our listeners about the program that you offer for these pastors, and how might they decide to come to it?
So we have these seminars. We have an international Christian leadership seminar. It's always in the springtime, because we want the pastors to experience the Holocaust Memorial Day event.
Yes.
We have now this year for the first time a seminar for young Christian leaders. This has never been done before, and these are young Christians in their 20s and 30s. And then we have one more for USA leaders, always later in the year. And people can apply, they can send in their application. Of course, people can also email me, and then they can apply, and then we'll see. We usually have more applications than we have space, which is a very, very good situation.
Yes.
It shows that there is interest.
Yes.
And it's a very special experience because it's not just the education, but it's also being together in a group and learning these things together with these other leaders.
I have a pastor friend in Austin. Her name is Linda, and she attended your program. I think it
Okay.
was 6 weeks at that time, maybe a few summers ago. She said she got so much out of it and things that she never expected to get. Do you hear that a lot?
Yes, we do. People usually leave. They are very sad when the last meeting happens.
Well, this place certainly has a lot of life here. We're in this beautiful shady grove,
Yes.
and it's really a special place. I think one of the most important places to visit when you come.
Yes.
And so happy that you spoke with us today. Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Yes, I would like to invite everybody to come and visit Yad Vashem. You can also email me before you come. Maybe we'll be able to meet you. At the gate of Yad Vashem, when people enter, the text is from Ezekiel 37 about the dry bones coming back to life. And there's no other place like Yad Vashem where you can witness that prophecy coming true.
Well, we certainly have. And thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless.